Doug MPA back with another video. So one of the best parts about YouTube coming about, these male spaces coming about, is that men finally have a way to express their feelings about dating, intersexual dynamics. It's been on YouTube for a while, and you can see it kind of getting mainstream, especially ever since Kevin Samuels came on the scene. And you're starting to see more people and more groups asking about what men think and feel about things. So this article says 64% of men say that this is their number one dating red flag according to recent surveys. So this Change Research actually did a survey asking men what their biggest red flags and women are. Imagine that. So we're going to go over this. This is from November 25th of 2023. Before I do that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It shows you supporting me and what I'm doing over here. And let's see what the biggest red flag that men say they can find in a woman. It says, according to a recent survey by Change Research, the biggest dating red flag for men is when someone identifies as a communist. A whopping 64% said that this political leaning would be a turnoff. And why do you think that that would be, guys? How can you have a conversation? How can you build a life with someone that's a communist, that believes that everybody should have everything? There's no such thing as, a hierarchy, that, everyone deserves the same quality of life, no matter how much work they put in, that no one's better than another person. I couldn't do it. And there's a lot of women, even if they're not communists, more socialist. Like everyone should have, basic access to this, and then it's stuff that's actually luxury items. Everyone should have housing. Everyone should have a car. Everyone should have a cell phone. Everyone should have a good paying job. Like, no, people put in more work than others, especially men. Communism is a far left ideology that advocates for all wealth and property to be communally owned. See, there you go. Coming in second place was having no hobbies. And that's a big one for me, guys. I meet a lot of women who don't do anything outside of work. Nothing. And it's funny because these women will talk trash about you for playing video games, watching football, but then they don't do anything. They're on you for going to the gym, but they won't do anything. Followed by identifying as a MAGA, Republican. The survey did not specify the sexual orientation of respondents. More than half, 55% of women said identifying as a communist is a red flag, but other social political stances were more problematic. So that's surprisingly high. 55% of women don't like communism. That's good. A potential partner is saying that there are only two genders, or saying all lives matter were bigger red flags than being a communist. So was having no hobbies, and that figures. Okay. Being a MAGA Republican was the biggest red flag, with 76% of women saying that this was not a desirable trait. Kind of figure that was going to happen, guys. I'm independent. I would never be a Republican, but a lot of people are deeming, anything that has to do with the orange man as toxic and problematic, especially women. Survey results demonstrate a broader trend of men and women have increasingly divergent political views. In 2021, 44% of women identify as liberal, while only 25% of men did. Wow! And we're in 2024 now, so I wonder what that is now. A decade ago, 30% of women and 27% of men identified as liberal. People who date someone politically dissimilar are generally less satisfied. As the gap widens, it gets harder and harder to imagine dating someone who exists across it. You see conservative or liberal on dating profiles, and you're attaching a slew of other beliefs to it. We look back at the 90s, there were plenty of moderate Republicans and plenty of liberal Republicans, he said. The political categories didn't map onto ideological categories as neatly as they do today. Now your views on the A word predict your views on same-sex marriage, diversity, and the war over there with Russia. It's all true. Hey, guys, when you start saying red pill stuff, if you say anything advocating for men, you're a misogynist, or you hate women, or you must be a conservative, or you must be a Republican. You must be pro-life. It's like, no, I'm just for having men's voices being heard. But they label all this stuff because if you're not pro-woman, you're you're every single negative political stereotype when it comes to women. Politics related to what people eat or don't eat, or the TV shows they watch and what podcasts they listen to. It's a shortcut. So that's what this Cynthia Peacock said. She's associate professor at the University of Alabama's College of Communication and Information Sciences, of course. Her research includes political communication, partisanship, and polarization. From our research, we find that when people have a partner across the line of politics, they're generally less satisfied in their relationships and they're more likely to have intense conflict. Dating it's hard enough. When Huff, who was in his 40s, was working in Washington, D.C. for the former president, he met up with a woman for what he calls the record for the shortest date ever. After telling her what he did for a living, she got up and left. So he worked for the Orange Man's administration. She hadn't even had a sip of wine. That was like a 2-minute date. You're better off, bro. You're better off. So when I can't immediately tell someone's politics, I try to introduce my own politics a little slowly to see how the other person reacts. I guess I'm afraid of the confrontation that sometimes comes from being a leftist, especially as someone who has dated in red states, as you should be, because that's the same with us guys. If we start talking about, how masculinity isn't toxic, how men are 9 times more likely to self-delete after divorce than women. Women, you don't have to fear the how a woman's going to react, but just get ready for them to react badly. So yeah. So what do you guys think about a woman saying that they're a communist? And here's the thing, I don't think a woman would even have to say it. Don't a lot of these women have septums piercings and half their head shaved and tattoos everywhere? Isn't that how you tell if a woman's a communist or not? Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one.